Hi, this is Sive Morten with the daily update on EuroFX. I post my exclusive market overviews with the key political and economical events, charts and important levels on the ForexPeaceArmy.com forums weekly. This short video is a response to rapidly changing situation on the currency markets and should help you to stay on top of the game and be profitable. I suggest you to visit ForexPeaceArmy.com forum and read my analysis for the week before watching this daily video.
Welcome back, everybody. Let's take a look again on gold market, and as usual we have prepared a report. Mostly today we're focused on economical things, just because in recent reports we have dedicated significant amount of space discussing and showing you the geopolitical background that stands around Middle East conflict. So currently I just briefly have given a few links, so without any big discussion of this subject. The only thing that we need to know from the perspective of the gold performance is involving of the Iran in the conflict. That's actually might be the next stage of the escalation. So because all other stuff is already actually included in the price of the gold. So I would say that initial conflict shock has been worked out already, and investors will just keep watching what will happen. If no involving on the Iran and conflict will just keep burning in the same borders as it stands right now, investors gradually will lose the interest to it, despite how cynic this is sounding. But that's usually, markets is more cynic thing in general, and they will return back to its own problems, such as the Fed rate, budget deficit, forming of the government, because you know that in the United States we have the temporal government that will work until the November. Totally government shutdown has not been resolved, so we will see what will happen. And that's the only thing that we need to know from the geopolitical point of view. If Iran directly or indirectly will be involved in a conflict, that will be another stage of the escalation, and gold could show really big upward action once again. So that's what we have on the geopolitical point of view. Speaking on the technical side, today, guys, we involved analysis also the weekly chart, just because action stands so strong that we just need to know what's going on the bigger picture to carefully and correctly make the decisions on lower time frames. I would say that in general, long-term analysis on a monthly chart, weekly chart suggests that the gold performance has to be significantly higher. So this is just what charts tell us. And on the weekly chart, for example, the first destination points that we see is the COP of this big ABCD pattern around 2094. So in general, we're interested with the top takeover. But since here probably some stops will be placed above this area, because this is really long-term top, once it will be triggered, market could just move slightly higher, and the existence of the COP slightly above these tops makes it possible to achieve. So that's what we need to keep in mind. Of course, it's not the question of the nearest week. It probably will take some time, but that's probably the major point that we need to keep in mind on the weekly chart. Trend is bullish here, and I suppose that the reaching of this target is just a question of time. So on the next week, the most interesting point is, of course, the weekly average overbought, which stands around 2023, right? So 2020 area, approximately. So because market actually on the way up already has broken all the fib levels that were existing here. It's actually free space, and except of the overbought, it has now no other barriers that could hold the price action. I mean, only on technical side, of course. So from that standpoint, market could keep going higher, but we expect that maybe right from this area we will get some pullback or something reaction on this area. On the daily chart, we have nothing. So our bot stands approximately the same area, even slightly higher, 2040. So we could say that 2020-2040 it probably will be the area of potential resistance on the next week. Thrust still great, but unfortunately we haven't got any duopoly patterns last week. No crossing of the 3x3, so market just keep going higher. That's just the levels that we could keep an eye on if somehow pullback will start. On the 4-hour time frame chart, our production stands not very strong, but you could see that our training plan on Fridays worked nice, so grabbers have worked. Market has jumped above the top. So we said that this mostly stands in favor of the upper direction, and actually that has happened. Now, the major point to consider next week is actually hourly chart. Here's what we have. First of all, butterfly target has been done. It's 127.2010, but take a look that right at the closing of the Friday we have the acceleration. From the technical point of view, it suggests that we should get in continuation to the 618 extension and to the XOP target. So that will be next destination point in short term, 2020, 2025. That's correspond to the weekly overbought. And then we need to keep an eye on what will happen. So if pullback, some pullback will start, potentially this butterfly could turn to the head and shoulders. We will could get some deeper retracement or something. If we will not have any sufficient factors that could trigger this relief on the gold, then probably market would turn to some sideways action, something the same as it was right there. So although it was some retracement, but it mostly very tight and sideways. Once overbought will be eliminated, market will just keep going higher. So these are two possible ways of action. So it means that actually on a higher time frame, on a daily, on a weekly, I do not see a lot of things to do, just because we need to more or less pullback to take the long position. And only who could do something here is probably the speculative traders and scalp traders who are trading on intraday charts. So you theoretically could consider taking some scalp long position with these targets. For instance, you could consider any dip to buy. For instance, we will get some pullback here. You were considering taking a long position with some stops either below these lows or even below these lows, depending on your trading style, depending on your approach to the markets. But a general suggestion is that market is going to the next destination point. With this time, some minor pullbacks might be considered if you're a scalp trader and you trade on a lower time frame, so an hourly chart and even lower. That's probably the only thing that theoretically is possible to do. So, and let's see what will happen, because potential on the gold seems really significant. There are some actually positive scenarios that might be achieved, where it could be some end of the rally in the short term on the gold, but chances on this looks not very high. That's definitely in this way the situation will develop. So monthly chart, at least on the gold, looks really impressive. So let's keep watching and see what we'll get in next week.